Now it's time to get this TriStar Turbo Brush power nozzle back together again. So where do we start? How about there? Well, these old standard screws. They're not Phillips, not any kind of hex or anything like that, just regular old flathead screws. Fantastic. Now we've got this slider here. I almost wonder if I'm missing some kind of piece, like a spring or something like that, because that just slides exceptionally easy, to be sure. So I kind of wonder about that. How about we do some wheels? These little pins. Kind of wish they would snap in a little more, but I guess they work. They don't fall out yet. Let's see if we can feed. Oh, by the way, before we feed the wires through, here's one side of the motor that has what I think is a date code. There we go. Like February of 1988. That's the guess on my part, but it seems to make sense as far as I can tell. You have to feed these wires through the grommet. Comes out over here on the other side. No screw hole there. So they're diagonal. Yeah, it looks like there should be a screw right here, and there's a hole for it, but there's no post for anything to go into, so that's what we got. Now, how about we hook up some power to this dude? Just real simple twist ties. Just wire nuts. No soldering or clipping or anything like that required. Super easy motor replacement. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a vacuum cleaner yet. Usually you have to put more effort into it than this. Now I have to put this piece back in, but you know what? I think I'm going to grease this just a little bit. That's pretty good. See that this will click onto this spring right here. All right, now comes the fun part. See if I can get all this back together. Tuck these wires back in. It's not that critical. Go. Everything moves. Click. Nice. Okay. I've got a couple of screws. Again, more flatheads to hold the metal top to the plastic base. Oh good, they both grabbed. There you can see how that airflow suction relief thing works. This is a great idea, and on newer power nozzles from Rainbow, they've ended up using tubing like this so you don't get so much airflow loss. So that really is quite tremendous. That really, really helps. And obviously it lasts. One thing I did do on this end of the brush roll, I rebuilt this bearing. That was the only one that I could really get to. So it was fairly devoid of grease. It wasn't totally gone, but I rebuilt that. This I can't get to, or I can't get to easily. So I decided to leave it alone. I figured if there's any time to rebuild it, it would be now. Spins very, very easily. And now, that belt here somewhere. There we go. Although this appears to be, somehow I don't think that's exactly the correct belt. I'm not sure. I really haven't looked it up yet. And I also hear that there might be a bunch of different belts that actually work on this machine. Now this is fun, trying to roll this in here. Usually I get it on the first try, but we'll see All right, fantastic. Now we need a rug plate, and we also need this strip to be reinstalled. Got this all cleaned up, so it's now a pretty good looking bumper, and even though it's definitely got some wear marks, there's no real cuts in it. It's not torn. It's worn, but it's not torn. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and reuse this. Well, after some huffing and puffing, we finally got the little rubber bumper back in there. It slips in the back, and there is an orientation in there, and then crimps on either side, here and here, so it doesn't pull out. So that was entertaining. No need to see me huff and puff getting that all taken care of. So now I need to get the metal rug plate on. Now I probably will, for this metal rug plate, at some point in time, I most likely will replace this foam. But I tell you what I did. Since this foam is squishy, well, it wasn't that squishy until I put it in the tub. I put it in the tub with some Persil, and literally I just kept squishing and squishing and squishing it until I was able to get all the nasty buildup. I mean, probably years, if not decades, of stuff out of there. Also, it smelled. It wasn't really very pliable. But after I was done working it over, so to speak, now it's almost like it's brand new. I mean, some spots are worn, obviously. It isn't brand new, but it smells good. It has its resiliency back again. You know, it's all fluffy and puffy again. It'll make a really good seal, and there's no smell. So just some Persil, and then heavy rinsing, and about 1 full day of drying, and that really took care of it. But at some point, I know I probably need to replace that, and I can use some weather stripping. All right. Last 2 screws. I'm amazed these are Phillips. Surprised these aren't the old standard flathead types. And there we are. So I guess let's run this thing and see what it sounds like. Okay, we're all hooked up. And let's see how good this motor and brush roll sounds. Oh, that's much better. All right, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.